Hey guys, Choko Blago here. So today's video, um, how do I say this? In my journey in crypto, I didn't just participate by trading, buying coins and holding. I built, I developed coins, okay, projects, okay. Some one I sold, uh, some didn't work out, okay, and in the process of doing that, okay, it made me understand liquidity pool. It made me understand supply. Okay, because I remember in my field decentralized exchange project, the token was only 30,000 in supply cap. Okay, you can't add any extra. Yet it didn't do well. We've seen coin like Yem Finance that has only 30,000 supply, and the moment they hit their peak price, nobody's talking about them anymore. But somehow, because of how the likes of Pump.Fun has made coin creation, okay, every Tom, Dick, and Harry feels that they understand coin creation. So words like cap, words like contract renouncing or revoking, contract renouncing or revoking, uh, terms like like minting now became a bad thing. And I'm like, who's teaching these guys about crypto? Who? Yes, Bitcoin has a cap supply at 21 million. Okay. Then, but it's still being mined. Okay. So it has a circulating supply and a maximum supply, which is where it will cap. If you look at the likes of Ethereum and BNB, there is no maximum supply. So they have, on the side of BNB, they have a mint and bond system. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So I think, was it quarterly bond? They call it quarterly bond, which BitGet token is also doing. On a quarterly basis, they buy back some coin and bond. And that's why sometimes you feel like you see the price of BNB become bullish ahead of Bitcoin. Sometimes those are quarterly buybacks. Are you get what I'm saying? Kind of injecting, some of the profit that they made into the liquidity. And some people don't understand how you add liquidity. Even CoffeeZilla, okay, does not understand how you add liquidity to a token, especially when it's on a centralized exchange. Because I was listening to the interview CoffeeZilla had with the CEO of Mantra, and he says the CEO of Mantra was pumping the coin. And I said, no, he was not pumping the coin. If he was in a decentralized exchange, all he had to do was to bring the probably USDT or whatever coin that is paired with Mantra and inject it in the liquidity pool. By doing that, he has added liquidity. In a centralized exchange, you can't do it that way. So there are two ways you can do it on a centralized exchange. It's either you create like buy orders, okay, but put it at a lower price to support the price, or you use your market makers to go outright to buy back from the market, which evidently pumps the market a bit, but it's done in such a way that it's not done in lump sum. Are you gonna say, but some people are saying that it's pumping the market. How else would the person add liquidity? It's either you create limit orders on the downside and the buy side, or you buy back some coin. That's how you add liquidity on a centralized exchange, which is why I prefer the centralized exchange, because you can add liquidity without pumping the price. But a centralized, you can't do that. It's either you put a support or you buy back. That's how you add liquidity on centralized exchange. But most people do not understand that because they lack the knowledge in crypto. And that is why somebody will say, hey, this contract is not renounced. Why will a project as massive as Alogio coin renounce its contract? Why will a project as massive as Ethereum renounce its contract? when there is constant development that requires new coins. So in the case of Alogio coin, for example, we can't renounce contract. Why? Because just to create a liquidity pool where 30% of Alogio property 1 was added, okay, that is about $30,000 worth of coin. Guess how many coins was added in the liquidity pool to create that liquidity pool? That is about the equivalent. So put it in the range of, you see, 8 something million or 8 million plus. Yeah, about 8 million plus worth of tokens or more was added in the liquidity pool. So when you now have two other assets, or when you now have an asset that is worth $100,000 and want to create a liquidity pool for the entire $100,000, do you know how much tokens you're going to need to do that? So when you now renounce contract, that is where it now gets to the point that the coin cannot grow. So they go and create a version 2 and ask everybody to migrate and increase the supply. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So most people do not understand. Most people do not understand supply. They say a coin has to be, that the supply is too much. What do you mean that the supply is too much? Do you know what the demand is? If I am building a property, okay, or maybe I'm creating a liquidity pool for 2 properties, and each of those properties, the percentage we're adding to the liquidity pool is probably what, maybe one is $20,000, one is $30,000. Okay, that is the equivalent of a Alogio coin I will need to create the liquidity pool, because you have to bring the same value here, bring the same value here to create a price. But most people don't understand this. So when they see a coin, they say contract has not been revoked, they scare away without even asking yourself, why do you need this contract? Why is this contract not renounced? Explain. Why does it have mintability? And it has gotten to the point whereby on CoinMarketCap, a coin can be labeled high risk because it has minting ability. Meanwhile, nobody has reached out to you to ask you, why does it have minting ability? Why is the contract not renounced? Nobody. So it's kind of strange. It's kind of strange. So, but the thing, it's obvious that currently a lot of people are more fixated in making quick money in crypto. Most of them are more fixated in trendy stuff. Most of them are more fixated with what is going on with pump fund, that they think that every other coin that has utility operates like a meme coin. That's not true. Utility coins, especially real world asset coins, tokens or coins, okay, do not operate on the same principle as a meme coin. A meme coin can afford to have a cap. A meme coin can afford to have its contract renounced. Yet, on top of that, people are still rogged every day, despite with the contract being renounced. So, how is contract renouncing and terminating of minting ability a solution, a proof that the coin will do well? It's not. Meme coins are an example. Why? Because people fail to understand that demand is key, very key for any coin to do well. It has nothing to do with the supply. I'll do a video talking about Picoin and why Picoin is not doing well. You get what I'm saying? But that will be a topic for another video. So I hope you guys get this message. I'm sorry that it's long, but there is no way I can talk about something like this in 2 minutes. You won't get it, so I have to explain. So watch this, watch it over and over to make out the time, and till I see you guys next time. If you have questions from me, feel free to ask in the comment section. Take care and remain blessed.